Down at a poker table takes courage, especially in a tough lineup. The money's on the table. Come and get it. Deal. The game's not just about playing well and picking up a few hands. You can't let your mood rise and fall with your stack. Two cowboys. Big hands can look invincible, but you can never drop your guard, because the highs and lows of the game can crush souls. Uh-oh, trouble. Sometimes they have the one hand you don't want to see. So sick. You can make all the right decisions and still lose. Just another cold deck. Nice hand, sir. Wow, wow, wow. Wait a sec. Now you're counting his chips. Everything okay now? But don't count too high, because there's still one card to come. And it can be equally as cruel. That's sick. Ugh, so sick. Ship it. Some people just never lose. It's a hard way to make an easy living. That's poker, folks.
Welcome to the final night of this week's shootout. 6 players each put up 50 grand, and now just 3 remain. Who will walk away with 300 grand? Chip leader Eric Baldwin, Melanie Weisner, or Tom Dwan? The answer's coming soon. Let's get the cards in the air.
With the blinds at 8 and 1600, Eric Baldwin takes a peek at his watch, almost as though he's impatient. But nothing could be farther from the truth. He has been incredibly disciplined thus far, holding the chip lead for a majority of the week. Tom Dwan in second, Melanie Weisner not far behind in third.
Raise it to 3,500.
She'll get the evening started with a suited connector, raising it up on the button. Bigger hearts for Baldwin. He's got a very tight table image at this point, and he's earned it. Something he may want to look to cultivate with some re-raising. And sure enough, that's exactly what he does. Not that his King-10 suited is a bad hand, but he'd prefer to win a pot right here than just call and take a flop out of position. Weisner not ready to lay down and puts the extra 7,500 out there. Pretty good sized pot heading to the flop, which isn't a bad one for Melanie. She's got an open-ended straight draw. Eric with control and the best hand. Take a look at Melanie. She's breathing heavy. To be fair, she's done that in most of these situations. A lot of money on the line. Good sized pot. Baldwin's continuation bet is 12,200. Which Melanie calls, and Eric can't like that. Baldwin with a quick check on the turn. And now it's gut check time for Melanie Weisner. Almost no chance that 7 high is good, but can she pull the trigger and make a move on this pot in what feels like an opportunity to take it down? The answer is no, as she knuckles behind Eric cautiously. And he spikes a 10 on the end. He's got to believe that gives him the best hand. Ace-10, perhaps the only hand that's going to have him in trouble, based on the play thus far. Eric does not bet, though, and now Melanie has been given some rope, which she's going to use to the tune of almost 20K. She knows there's almost no chance she can win this pot with a check.
A lot of heads up, so you're capable of value betting pretty thin, I'm sure. Cool.
Same.
Thanks.
I should have bet the turn. Was not trying to pull it out of 10.
So after some brief deliberation, Eric Baldwin makes the right call, while Melanie... If the poker thing for some reason didn't ever work out, Melanie could fall back on a number of things. She's classically trained in vocal composition and performance, specifically musical theater and jazz. And she's even had some dance training.
Raise it. 4,400.
She's going to express her creativity in other ways here with Jack-10 offsuit, making it 4,400 to go. Dwan defends his big blind with King-9 offsuit and flops top pair to Melanie's middle pair. Melanie casually sticks 5,700 into the pot.
Raise it.
And that's not what this young lady wanted to see. A raise from Tom Dwan in position. With one overcard to her pair out there. Calling here would be committing a decent chunk of her remaining stack to this pot. Not to mention, in all likelihood, leave her with another big decision on the turn. So she settles on a fold. Good decision by Wisner. Tom Dwan up to over 90,000 now. Melanie drops down to below 35. Still over 20 big blinds. suited king.
Raise it to 3,500.
Wisner sticking to the game plan. Baldwin looked like he wanted to fold there, but instead calls the 1900. Queen high flush draw for Eric, top pair for Melanie. Both players check. 4 cards straight on the board as of the turn.
That's 2,600.
A little bluff here from Eric. Wisner looks annoyed. Doesn't like the board and lays down the best hand. It could be in the genes for Eric Baldwin, whose father cashed in the 2009 seniors event while Eric was making the final table of the $10,000 Pot Limit Hold'em World Championship. Says he has a close relationship with Dad and that he's actually his best friend.
Oh, sure.
Best piece of advice he ever got was how to remove himself from negative thoughts and getting caught up in them. And that would be consistent with what we've seen so far in this match. Very little emotion out of Eric Baldwin. We'll return with more three-handed action from Las Vegas in a moment. Welcome back to our exclusive poker room inside Aria. A look at the chip counts.
That's gotta be amazing for you.
Melanie Wisner, hungry for a double up.
They're just. I would only play in Europe if I could.
It is almost kind of like poker was here 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It's like booming and
Oh yeah, for sure.
a lot of really bad play.
Artwork for Durr.
Raise it to 4,200.
But I love being here.
Yeah, once you spend too much time in Europe, you want to
I feel like
come
there's
back.
way less where if you're girls playing over there.
There's no girls. There's like
Right, so that's why it
2 or
needs to be so much
3.
better for you. And especially because of the kind of people that play those compared to the tourneys here.
yeah. It's pretty wild.
You must get some sick. Did you play Partouche?
Uh-huh.
That was special.
That was just amazing. That whole thing was awesome. And they televise their stuff too.
Yeah, they didn't play it yet, right?
Huh? They haven't aired it yet, no.
Eric looking to limp in.
Because Vanessa, I think, is chipped for you or something.
Yeah,
like
they
that.
just aired the heads up thing. I took second in that, and they just aired it.
Ugly flop for these two hands.
But I mean, didn't they not play the final table yet?
No, the main event they haven't aired yet. They
They
aired.
didn't even play it though, right?
They haven't. Yeah, they haven't played it until November.
Okay. It's kind of.
Is that a big enough tournament to do that?
I mean, I feel like nothing is other than the main event. I feel like the main event barely.
I mean, it
is,
just
you
gets
know what
so
I mean?
much so
But
much
it's-
interest in Europe, you know.
Yeah, I guess that's true. They satellited in like 350 people.
Oh
or
my God,
something.
it got like
And it was,
850 entrants or something.
Yeah,
like
and like
that.
200, some of them were
It
live
was
casino
unbelievable.
satellites.
It was
I had-
gorgeous. Also, Cannes is beautiful.
I had a pretty table for that tourney at least. Mine was like below average for your standard World Poker Tour, so way below average for over there.
Yeah, that would be.
Mullen.
All in.
That one's really good for you.
For you.
It's like 30,000.
Just under.
Look at one and fold.
Huh?
Look at one and fold.
You looked at one and folded?
Yeah.
Well, that's a first. Tom Dwan doesn't bother checking out the second card.
I guess if it was a suited ace, maybe. Call what with the blind? It's like 8-16. Yeah, I was just tilted. That was my first card. I wanted some sweat.
Durr trying to limp in. Eric's got hooks.
Raise it to 5,600. $16,200.
Back over the top comes Dwan with his 7-4 suited. 16-2 total now. This is the kind of stuff we're used to seeing out of Durr in cash games. In a somewhat similar situation, Baldwin just called with his pocket kings earlier against Durr. What will he do this time?
All in.
All in.
He sticks Durr all in. Tom cannot call. And Eric Baldwin is slowly running away with this thing. Will anyone give Basebaldi a run for his money? Find out when we return. NBC's Poker After Dark continues from Aria. Blinds have gone up to 1 and 2,000, which is not good news for Melanie Weisner.
That's what he thinks.
20 big blinds, yeah. Or, oh, okay, that's what he thinks.
I would make him post.
Mullen.
Raise all in.
She's ready to play for all of it after peeking down at her alphabet soup.
25 or something like that.
It's like, I think so.
Dwan's interest is peaked with King 10.
25-5.
He knows Melanie has to make moves at this point and doesn't necessarily have his King 10 beat.
I'm on.
We raise all in.
He moves over the top to keep Eric Baldwin out of the pot.
So you got like 25. I got like 180, so that would mean he's got like 90.
I think 86. $86.5. That's good news.
Baldwin finally pitches ace-8.
Did you fold?
Were you ahead?
Of you.
Well, I know that much, obviously.
You could have ended it all right now.
I know. It's
I know that
tempting.
was going through your head.
Dwan spikes a king on the flop. Not good news for Wisner. She's ace fishing. Nine of diamonds isn't going to cut it. And with an ace already in the muck from Eric's hand, Melanie's down to 2 outs for her tournament life. No dice.
Again, Melanie. We set the hard precedent with the net, so I'll bring it in.
You're stuck on the table.
So Melanie says her goodbyes. Alton?
Sure, he didn't want to go out first. Obviously, he wanted to win it, but
Baldwin's got the chip lead. Dwan's got the button and an ace.
Raise to 7,000.
7K to play.
We raise to 19,000.
Eric makes it 19,000 total with King 9 offsuit. Not your favorite spot with ace 3, and Tom Dwan lets it go. Baldwin's aggressive play pays off. Dwan more the heads-up specialist out of these two. Baldwin considered a tournament specialist. And having won a few in his time, he's no stranger to heads-up play. Another ace on the button for Durr.
Raise to 7,000.
And another raise to 7,000.
Call.
Baldwin will take a peek with 3-5 suited. He fans on the flop, as does Durr.
Check.
Both players studying one another.
Check.
Neither willing to put a bet out there as the ace hits the turn. Baldwin drawing dead now. He checks a second time. And you see Durr reach for chips and then give a quick look up to Eric Baldwin, almost as though he wants to see what Eric's reaction will be to a bet.
23,000.
He slides 23,000 out there. That's a big overbet. Well, slow and methodical is the order of the day for these two players, and with 300 grand on the line, who can blame them? Heads up play continues from Aria. Not a lot of movement since heads up play began. Blinds are unchanged at 1,500 and 3,000.
Raise to 7,500.
Dwan has established 7,000 as a pre-flop raise amount. Baldwin not willing to go along with that, making it 7,500. Dwan defends with King 3 suited and flops top and bottom pair. Baldwin, meanwhile, with middle pair. And rather than check to Eric Baldwin, Dwan is going to take his chances on letting Eric off the hook by leading out for 9,500. He's hoping Eric will play back at him, perhaps interpreting this bet as a weak lead. And that's exactly what Eric Baldwin does. Tom Dwan couldn't have scripted this one any better so far. Now, Dwan's got some choices. He could smooth call and get greedy. But instead, he makes it 45-5, not taking any chances on losing this pot on subsequent streets. That pair of sixes not looking so hot anymore.
All in.
Re-raise, all in.
I call.
Nice in.
Eric moves all in. Tom makes the easy call, and it's trouble for the chip leader. He's looking for a six or a couple of runners. Over 80% of all the chips in play are in this pot.
You had like 120 to start?
I have 120 and 500.
Club on the turn gives Eric a bunch more outs.
It's a good little turn for you, though.
Doesn't matter unless it's a good river.
It's true, but it helps. It adds a few to the number of good rivers.
Tom Dwan needs to dodge a club or a 6.
Nice hand.
And he does, filling up on the river to double into a commanding chip lead.
I messed everything up. They are all 20s. It's 12500. Now we got to recount it.
We'll let Durr handle the recount while we pay the bills. Welcome back for more of NBC's Poker After Dark. As if the news wasn't bad enough for Eric Baldwin, who's down to just 44,000 in chips, the blinds have moved to 2,000 and 4,000 to make things even more difficult on him.
How much do you have?
40 back. Like
40 behind?
Yeah, like 44 total.
Dwan's going to be sneaky with a couple of jacks.
Check.
Baldwin fans on the flop. 2 overcards to Dwan's hand.
Check.
Check, check, and now Eric hits a pair of 5s.
Check.
Still no betting. Baldwin playing it very cautiously.
I call.
5.
Dwan finally gets Eric to put some chips into the pot and picks up an extra 5,500 in the process. Durr was down to less than 40,000 at one point in the match, and he spent considerable time on the short stack before mounting this huge comeback, and he's on the verge of 300 grand if he can hold on.
All in.
Raise all in.
3-5 suited, not enough to call Eric's all in.
I'm all in.
Raise all
Call.
in.
And in goes all of Eric's stack
So sick. I was such a monster.
as Dwan puts them all in with a suited king.
I've seen that win before.
Twice, yeah.
Baldwin's ace-8, a 3-2 favorite heading to the flop.
I just meant I wanted the think 12 seconds call with like queen 9.
With the queen.
I guess queen 9 probably calls quicker. Like queen 7, queen 6.
No pair for either player. Ace-8 still in the lead. Baldwin's hand still good on the turn. All he's got to do is dodge a king or a deuce to double up and give himself some breathing room.
Good game, Tom.
But the king of clubs on the end seals Eric Baldwin's fate,
Take it, man.
and Tom Dwan is this week's champion.
Congratulations, Tom.
Thanks.